Take your time. Take your time.
Doesn't matter where any of this is.
Anywhere you sit, anywhere you want to sit. We'll frame you up just nice. You're the champ.
I leave this on.
If we have any questions from our people on Zoom, please use the raise hand function
You can take it off.
on Zoom. Get in queue, and we'll get you questions. First, we're going to start with just an opening comment from you, Mario. Once you get settled, take your time. Water there is fresh and for you.
Thank you. Love with the bell in the middle. Yeah.
Why don't you tell us after you get settled, tell us opening comment about your performance tonight.
First of all, I want to give, I want to tip my hat to Karl, good friend of mine for a long time. We knew he was going to come with everything, and we knew it was going to be a rough and tough fight, but I was prepared for 12 rounds. I was going to be patient, and we got him out of there sooner than we thought. But again, I went in there just taking my shots. It took a minute to get used to the pressure he was putting because it was so awkward. But I started to find my rhythm as the rounds kept on progressing.
How would you rate your performance overall? For a homecoming, your first title defense, that has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, no, it feels great. I rate my performance maybe a B. Of course, there's all things that you can work on. I was having a little bit of trouble finding my jab. Again, just because of how awkward he was putting the pressure. And, but I felt, I was picking my shots were very nicely up the middle. I was slipping a lot of big shots. So, I would give myself a B.
Questions here, guys?
Yeah, he seemed to come out more aggressively in the second round and kind of surprised you a little bit. Did he hurt you at any time at all?
He was in there throwing bad intentions. He landed some odd punches. But, again, it was just taking me a minute to find my rhythm. But, there wasn't anything that hurt me. There wasn't anything that really was offsetting to me.
As far as homecomings go, it's been nice to have a packed house, but under the circumstances, were you satisfied with the crowd and your performance?
Like you said, of course, I wish that it could have been a packed house, but it couldn't. But I'm still very excited, with the outcome of this fight. I'm the first person from San Antonio who has ever defended a world title, so that's a huge honor. And I'm humbled to be one of the first person in San Antonio history, to accomplish that.
Hey Mario, Mike Hoppinger here. Congratulations. Now you guys at PBC 140 pounds. Regis Prograis had a nice performance as well. Adrian Broner says he's going back to 140. Who do you want next?
Me being, a champion, I would like to unify with either Ramirez or Josh Taylor. Those are huge fights. Me being the fighter I am, those are the fights that I want. But again, we're going to sit down with, my people, Al Heyman, my managers, and we're going to decide what my next move is.
Right. But with Taylor and Ramirez expected to fight each other next, who if there's anyone you can pick besides those two, is anyone that you like?
I like, Josh Taylor, his boxing ability, but again, the type of style that Ramirez has, he breaks a lot of people, and it's just a fight that, you would just have to just see unfold.
Did you see tonight that Ryan was woozy after the headbutt? Did you really go after him after that, or what was your reaction?
There was some big punches that I landed. Before the headbutt that I saw in his body language, that really hurt him. I could hear him on the inside, with the body shots. And but again, it was a real fight. We clashed heads. It's part of boxing. But that wasn't the reason why he got out of there.
Mario, congratulations. When Regis Prograis was in here earlier, he mentioned that he would like to fight you, obviously to get some version of the title back. What are your thoughts on that fight specifically, especially because Taylor and Ramirez could be a while before you get the winner in that fight?
I'm in the sport to give boxing fans, the exciting fights. A fight with Regis, it would be huge at 140, especially with him being, the PBC team now. That's a very, very likely fight to happen.
Did you see his performance? Or I know you were getting ready for your own fight, obviously. Did you happen to see any of it in the locker room or anything, or no?
I didn't see much. I just saw, when he started to land, I believe it was a left hook that, he hurt him with. But again, Regis is a strong fighter. And he found his mark.
You like there were any ring rust? You had a 13-month layoff. Did you feel any ring rust tonight?
No ring rust at all. Again, it's a 12-round fight. I went in there just being patient. And again, it was gonna be a rough fight. I know I had 12 rounds to work, so there was no rush for me. I was in there picking my shots, making him miss his wild ones, and it paid off.
Did you feel like you had anything to prove after your fight against Alamodome ended kind of controversially? Did you feel like you had anything to prove tonight?
No, I don't feel I had anything to prove. Again, I showed the type of fighter I was my last fight. And it was no different this fight. Again, I was ready for a rough and tough 12-round fight. And, like I said, that's what I was prepared for.
Okay, question here from AP.
Congratulations. I was curious, your first fight, in the COVID era, what was it like? Did it impact your training? Did it impact your preparation for the fights?
Yeah, Campbell's a lot different, of course, a lot more strict as far as sparring partners go and everything. The bubble was something, I don't want to get used to. But, again, it's just part of what's going on right now. And I was very thankful, though, to be a part of, the first show back with an audience.
Yeah, and speaking of that, like another you mentioned earlier, the crowd was kind of small, but still a pretty good crowd for COVID. How excited were you to see that many fans out there?
I was very excited. Just the fact, that, again, I'm here at home. And it felt weird, being at home, but not really at home because, again, I couldn't really leave anywhere but the bubble. But, I hope, I gave, my hometown fans, an exciting fight. And I hope it was worth it for them.
There was a lot probably to watch it on paper.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm thankful, for everybody who tuned in, bought the card, whether it was for me, whether it was for Tank. We all got exposure.
Over here, side.
Hey, Mario, where do you think your punching power ranks in the division? It seemed like you said, every time you were able to land clean with either hand, it hurt him. You could hear the thuds ringside. Where do you think it ranks at 140?
I think it's up there. Again, even in the Alamodome fight, I was able to put him on the canvas twice. I carried my power throughout the whole 12 rounds. And I think it's definitely something that people in my division, should be aware of, that should be put on notice about.
Hey, Mario, two questions. One is, did you feel the fight was, the stoppage was too late? I know you ended up knocking him out and you settled it, but did you think it should have been stopped earlier when he was all a little woozy and stuff?
Yeah, again, at that too, man, I know Ryan, I don't want to be in there, beating him down. I know his family very well, very respectful family, his team. But, I felt it was a little late, just given his body language, given the headbutt. But, there wasn't really, at that point, much hope.
And I know you mentioned earlier that you want to unify with Ramirez and Taylor or the winner of that fight. But to you, outside of those two fighters, what is the biggest fight at 140 pounds, in your personal opinion, that can be made?
Right now, the only fights I could think of, are the ones with the guys that have the belts, and right now, that's Taylor and Ramirez. But again, I'm here, to give boxing fans, the exciting fights. I'm willing to fight anybody in my division, and that's the type of fighter that I am.
Would you consider welcoming Teofimo Lopez at 140 pounds?
Yeah, we had an interview about that. If he moves up, if the fight is brought up to me, again, I'm willing to fight anybody. That includes Teofimo if he moves up.
Okay, we got some questions from colleagues on Zoom. Couldn't be with us tonight. We'll start with Stephen Hayes. Stephen, open your mic and go ahead.
Hey, Mario. Stephen Hayes, TV Sports. Congratulations on your first title defense. Two questions. One, did you make it a point to go to the body early and often?
That's part of just, my style. I was telling, from the amateurs, to chop the tree. I've always been a fan of body shots. And especially in world title fight, you know, they really pay off, you know, towards the middle and late rounds. So, but yeah, I mean, I went out there, you know, with the intention, you know, to break the body, you know, real early. I mean, again, I know the type of style that Ryan had. I knew if I didn't do anything to slow him down, it would, you know, it would stay a rough fight the whole 12 rounds.
And number two, I know you said you were taking it one round at a time, but that sixth round, you seemed to come out there with a lot of determination. Did you feel at that point you could get him out of there?
Yeah, I mean, I could, again, I mean, I was reading his body language in there. At that too, I mean, I was finding my rhythm. Again, you know, the first couple rounds, it was taking a minute just because how wild he was coming. But yeah, I mean, I was really just, you know, starting to get warmed up. I was ready, you know, to go a hard 12 rounds. So, I mean, I was going to keep on picking it up slowly.
Appreciate it. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Stephen. Last questions here from Cameron Buford. Cameron, unmute, and you can go ahead.
Hey, Mario. You kind of touched on it right there. The first couple of rounds, he seemed to kind of catch you off guard, and it kind of took you a moment to get in the rhythm. But is that the case? Is that how you saw it going inside the fight? That after the third round, you kind of got your rhythm, and then obviously put him out in the fifth and sixth round. Well, he could have went out in the fifth. Is that how you saw it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, it was, you know, taking me a minute just, you know, to get his timing down, you know, just to really get used to the way he was moving, the way he was stepping, and you know, the way he was coming forward with punches. You know, he's I knew, you know, he didn't going into this fight. I had the better boxing ability, you know, the better movements. It was just getting used to, you know, the way that he was moving, the way he was putting his pressure.
How can you get better, Mario? We talked about this a few times, how you just putting fights together, putting your game together. How can you, next training camp, what can you do to get better, to be a better boxer?
I mean, me and Virgil will sit down, you know, my team, and discuss, you know, what I should have done from the beginning, you know, what I need to continue on doing. That's just something, you know, me and my team will sit down and talk about. But I mean, like I said, I mean, I would rate myself, you know, maybe a B, you know, at the most. There's always things, you know, I can improve on when I fight.
Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing how you improve from the B that you give yourself. We want to see how you improve, team. Have a good one.
Well said, Cameron. Okay, Mario, congratulations. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Safe travels for the short ride home.
Appreciate it.
Okay, folks, we'll be back after our main event tonight.